Hey, what's going on, guys? So today I am setting up some new fixtures. I'm all the way up here on top of the hydro minder. So working off a ladder and some precarious steps. But I've got where this piece right here connects to this. So the other day when I was in here trying to work with these hydro minder float valves, right here the connection broke. I actually have it, a part of it right here where you probably can't see, but inside the threading from this piece that was on here broke off and blew out, and so I had to go and get a replacement ball valve and so I'm just fixing everything, and just wanted to film it and show it to you guys and kind of give you an idea of what it looks like, what I'm doing in here, and how ugly I am while I'm trying to do plumbing. So give me a sec, I'm gonna adjust the ladder real quick. There we go. Okay, so now what we're doing is we're putting this elbow right on here, and then we're going to attach this piece to it, and the other two hoses that were attached to this, we're going to go ahead and rewrap them with some Teflon tape and put them back on, and hope that when I kick this all on, it doesn't blow up like it did the other day. So. And this is all stuff that I'm learning either firsthand as I go, or I'm lucky enough to have a couple of mentors that have been in this industry for a while that offer advice for free. One of them even came out the other day and helped me make sure that my air compressor was running right and make sure that everything was doing what it's supposed to be doing. So I'm gonna see if I can get this one more turn before I'm happy with it. I don't want to put too much stress on the float valve. It's out of the frame, but it looks just like this. So, and I am not a licensed plumber. I've messed with and worked with a couple of buddies' dads before who do like HVAC stuff, but for the most part, this is all first-hand stuff for me. Back up there. So now I've got this installed. I've got the valve where I want it to be. So you'll see everything gets nasty. There's chemicals everywhere. Oh, wife's calling me. My wife pocket dialing me for the second time in the last 10 minutes. Next time she calls, I'm just not going to answer. So now I'm just going to go ahead and thread this up and on. I loosen the hose up a little bit so that this actually spins in the hose itself. I'm not pulling it out all the way. I could, but I don't think I need to. And this has been on there for a long time, for a while, so I think it'll hold no problem. But if I have an issue, I'll make it work. Just give myself a little more space up here. Now, of course, once I'm trying to screw it on, it wants to give me all this grief. I got my pumps and motors right below me, so I gotta be careful where I'm putting my feet as I'm doing this. Just go ahead and pull this. There we go. All right, so we pulled that out. As you can see, it'll slide right back in there. But it was just giving me a hell of a time trying to screw it down. but that's okay. There you go. So, like I said, I'm not a plumber, so if I'm doing something wrong, feel free to tell me. But I'm handy. I've had a logging business, sawmill business. I know enough to probably really jack myself up, but you know, it's enough to the point where I can do little stuff like this without having to shell out a ton of money. And especially, you know, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to find people who are honest with it, and sometimes what could be, you know, I've been doing this for less than 30 minutes, so why pay that money? Now, if I blow something out on here because I screwed it up, then I'll pay the money. But for right now, I'm just gonna try and do this on my own and see what I can make happen. All right, so now that we have this piece back on here, we got to go through and reattach the hoses. So the red hose just dropped down underneath everything. So let me see. Get it and bring it on up here. And I can. So this is the main inline hose coming from my water line on the wall. And then the blue hoses feed the other two tanks, because I've got, the way it's set up on my hydro minder is I have each half here. So this side and this side both have 3 tanks to them. This is just a high pressure rinse, so that no chemicals, no soaps or anything added. This side is, this is where my high pressure soap wash goes. And then this on the end here is the foam brush, I believe. No, clear coat. And then on this side, I've got my tire cleaner on the far end, soap brush in the middle, and I believe this is foam brush. This is my pre-soak. The one in the middle is my pre-soak. So it's all stuff I'm still figuring out as I go, but the bays are starting to work. So now I need to get this stuff in here dialed in, because the equipment for the bays will be coming in the next week or 2. So super excited about that. Lower. Oops, dropped the damn hose again. Now, just work on wiggling this hose back up and on. I'm gonna loosen this up some more to make sure it's just not adding any extra pressure that I don't want. About got it to where it was. Yep, now it's where it was. So we bring this back up. I like to kind of tighten it down by hand a couple turns. And then I'm just literally going right back over the groove that was already there. Whoop. So let's see. All right, so we've got that tightened back down now. And so now we have these 2 blue hoses, one from each side, that need to get added. These ones are a little different. I left these tightened down and I undid the nuts on them. And so I'm actually gonna grab my Teflon tape off the ground. And I'm gonna add a little bit more Teflon tape to it just to kind of help prevent any extra leak. I'm gonna get rolling. So I'm always of the mind, you know, when in doubt, wrap it up. So I always like to put a little extra wrap on here just to make sure. Just to make it a little bit more difficult for this all to come apart. And because this equipment, most of this equipment is probably somewhere in the range of 18 years old. So it's still probably got about 10 to 12 years left if I maintain it right. But I need to maintain it right. So that's what I'm working on, is replacing what I need to, touching up, doing some preventative maintenance and checks, and services, or PMCS, if you used to be in the military and you know what Motor Pool Mondays are. That's what I do. And so I'm still in that phase right now of just finding out what is the biggest issues I'm having and what I need to replace. You ever feel like you're getting annoyed? That's how I feel this time. So my goal with this is, you know, a lot of people, especially right now, they talk about passive income. They talk about, you know, how do I make money without actually having to work? And I would say that doesn't really exist. Some digital stuff you might be able to, you know, put it together 1 or 2 times and then package it out and sell it that way. But there's not always going to be a high demand for that. And just like even at car washes, you know, car washes are, as much as I don't want to say it, they're a little bit of a luxury. So will this always be doing great? No. But I will make more money. There's bleeding air from somewhere. Alright, so air compressor just cut back off. I'll have to look and see, but I think I'm leaking air somewhere. But so that's another thing that I'm constantly chasing and doing this are leaks. Where am I leaking air? Where am I leaking water? You know, because if you're leaking air and if that air compressor kicks on 100 times a day, you know, that's going to cost a heck of a lot more than you know, 4 or 5 times a day. But I'm okay with a high water bill because, you know, I didn't wrap that. See, you always gotta be careful what you're doing too. I'm trying to talk to y'all about the air compressor. Air compressor coming on, throwing me off. And I didn't add any more Teflon tape to this piece. So, and this might be boring for some of y'all. I don't know. I'm putting it out there for me and for my kids, I guess. And anybody that's interested in getting started in the car wash industry, you know, because I'm in the middle of starting right now. This is my first car wash. I leased it. I didn't buy it. I'm attached to a gas station that's pretty busy all day long, so we should have pretty good returns here. I've got 4 bays, and there's an automatic that we're going to junk out of here and try to add look at adding a 5th bay too. Alright, I think I'm just going to add some Teflon tape to the bottom half of that and hope it works. If you see a video here about a leak in my hydrominder in a couple of days, you'll know what it's from. Y'all can laugh and say, look man, you should have wrapped it before you attacked it. Oh, probably because I was tightening it before. Duh. I can just tell this is going to be a little bit more of a pain. And it's the one that's on the opposite side of the whole rig from me. now, switch from the pliers, to actual pipe wrench. Let's see. We can turn one more time. I think we got it. Yep, we got it. All right, so now we replace this whole fitting. Hang on a second. So now we replace this whole fitting from this piece. This is a reducer. Put a 1/4-inch valve on it, 1/4-inch elbow on it, reattach the hoses. I still got to tighten this piece back up, but we're ready to test it, so we'll see. All right, so got the water back on and everything. Simple test to see if it blows up. There's water in this line right now. Not seeing any leaks, nothing like that. Pull down on that. Some water comes up, cuts right back off, just like it's supposed to. Just like it's supposed to. Everything's working the way it needs to be. Super excited about that. We're getting there. One day at a time, one step at a time. So now we're gonna see if we can change out some air regulators while we're at it.